Hi. Over the last few months, I've come on here and talked over several videos about the struggles that displaced people both inside and outside Sudan face. The last video I made about this was in June, and in it, we specifically talked about the change in Egypt's visa policies, the restrictive process, and the exorbitant fees that have compelled many to resort to being smuggled over the border. Iron Network has released a harrowing report on this. In it, they detail the change in policy, the dangerous journey that people take across the border, and the inhumane conditions in which those who are apprehended are held as they wait for deportation.
بيجي داخلين الحدود المصرية بيضطر المريض يقعد زيه زي السليم من ورا في العربية من ورا في الصندوق وبيتربط بحبل. الطرق دي حوالي 450 كيلو في الصحراء، حوالي 450 كيلو ل 600 كيلو في الصحراء. حاجة اللي عرفتها لقدام إنه هم بيقصدوا إنه لما يكونوا متعارضين بيقصدوا إنه يوقعوا زول عشان شنو؟ يخففوا الحركة بتاعت العربية المتعارضة. عدد المقابر كتير جدا في الصحراء جدا.
طبعا احنا ماشيين في الخلا ده لقيتنا البكاسي المحركة، بكاسي محروقة، وبرضو في واحد لقينا نفر واحد مقطوع رفعنا معانا، قال لي هو يوم ده كان جاي بالتهريب برضو، وقال انه الجيش المصري ياهو ظهر لهم وقام بتاع العربية نزل وكل الناس قال لهم انزلوا اجروا وقاموا جايرين كده وحرقوا لهم عربيتهم.
45 جثة مقبرة أسوان، مجرحة أسوان كلهم ماتوا عفش.
يعني البرة دول اخوانكم قاعدين هنا في سجن تابع للجيش المصري في ابو سمبل. دول كلهم عابرين من الحدود السودانية من معبر الأرقين، نسوان ورجال في المخزن ده قاعدين اليوم قريبا 25 يوم. في ناس نسوان بهناك عندهم أطفال عندهم إسهالات وعيانين ما في زول جايب خبرهم. في مرتين أجهضوا، في واحدة حامل الشهر الثامن.
The presence of children in these detention centers is especially devastating. As you saw in the last clip, everybody is lumped together in one room. There's no separation, no consideration. There's no medical care that is provided for people. They're truly held in inhumane conditions. People are held for extended periods of time, way beyond the 15 days to a month that is set for deportation. Some are held in outright prisons. And as you can see here, several refugees have died being assaulted by Egyptian prisoners serving long-term jail sentences. The other crucial part of this report is the connection that they draw between the crackdown on Sudanese refugees and the deal made by the European Union with the Egyptian government to curtail migration. In it, they say that the EU has provided Egypt with a 7.4 billion euro deal that allocates 200 million of that for migration management. That, of course, is super reminiscent of the Khartoum process, a deal in which the EU paid the Sudanese government $200 million in like 2016 or something to combat migration. And that money, of course, was funneled into the RSF, who at the time were a border patrol. And they basically did the EU's dirty work. Anyway, I highly recommend that you read that report. Iron Network has been doing incredible coverage of the struggles that people who are displaced have been facing, because of course folks fleeing into Egypt are not the only ones facing difficulty. Last month they released a report that details the struggles that residents of Darfur face finding medical care, which has forced many of them to make the equally difficult journey to South Sudan. In April they released a report documenting the experiences of Sudanese people living in Uganda's refugee camps. Here's a clip.
حياة اللي هنا بيصرفوا لنا بيقول لك بدوك العيش الريف الحب ده وبدوك شوية رز، الرز ذاته ما كل مرة، وبدوك الجنجارو وبدوك زيت في باخة شوية كده.
ادونا ليه حاجات بسيطة ما بتكفي، حتى الأكل اللي بدونا ليه احنا في السودان ما قاعدين ناكلوه، وهنا ما واكبناه ما قادرين نتواكب على الأكل ده نهائي يعني.
Also have a similar report about refugees in camps in Juba in South Sudan. They've been doing the work. And this is why we say to follow Sudanese journalists, Sudanese voices, because simply you will not get this coverage elsewhere. Sudan, like all of Africa, remains at the bottom of the totem pole in terms of world priorities. But that doesn't make us any less important, any less worthy of support and life. So keep eyes on Sudan.